Hi, Vicki Brown here. I don't know if you've watched my other YouTube video about do you have 100% confidence in our school system? I took that video after going to a conference at my child's school and feeling really just at a loss for words, really. It seemed that the school has nothing positive to say and that it's affecting our children. Not to mention the way that they just give up. Oh, we're out of options. We don't know what else to do with your child. Well, I'm always coming up with something new to do. I think since the day they were born, when one thing didn't work, I was like, oh my gosh, what else can I do? And I'd sit and rack my brain and try to think of something different. Excuse me. And I did. I would come up with a different idea. Like when my son wouldn't sleep when he was little, I found he liked the vacuum. I'd put him in that little swing, turn that swing on, turn on the vacuum and just put it in the corner and let it run. Well, I could have blew up the vacuum, but whatever. I got peace of mind. I got a little bit of time to sleep myself because the sound of the vacuum soothed him. It might not work for every kid, but it worked for him. So let's fast forward. He's 10 years old. And now we're having this problem at school where they say, well, he's not motivated. Oh, well, we have to prepare him for FCAT. And everything hinges on this FCAT. All they do all year long is talk about FCAT. They just keep scaring them. And if you were like me, I used to have a problem with tests. The minute they said the word test, I would just freak out. And everything in my head would just blank out. And I didn't remember anything. But if you just gave me a piece of paper and said, can you answer these? I'd get 100%. Like just something to do with the word test. It would just make me ill. Literally. Getting up in front of the class and telling them my paper or reading my paper or talking about a topic would freak me out. I'd be sweaty. My hands would be sweating. I would feeling like I was going to pass out. You know, not everybody's good at everything, and that's my point. But I just wanted to come up with this idea. I've been thinking about this ever since I did that video, and I'm still thinking about it. My son brings me this piece of paper that took him 45 minutes according to the teacher, who put a sticky note on it, while he sit and watched him not do it for 45 minutes. That was the first thing I had a little confusion about. So it was a math equation. And it was just like double-digit multiplication. Nothing really that difficult. But they call it problem of the day. And when they first get in school, after the announcements and whatever, they start doing their work. The first thing they do is problem of the day. To me, that's setting the standard for the whole entire day. If you're calling something problem of the day, even though you may think it differently, problem of the day as an adult, it's already putting in their head that there's a problem. And that may be going way off target for you, but I believe that to be true. So in my household, I tell my son, hey, do that not-so problem of the day. We call it the not-so problem of the day. Because it can be called an equation, it can be called a calculation, it can be called something else than problem of the day. It's always related to math, but sometimes it's multiplication, sometimes it's division, sometimes it's addition, subtraction, whatever it may be. But there's always something different we can call it. It doesn't have to be problem of the day. Because my son would just sit there. And come to find out, the reason he was just sitting there is because they keep promoting the brilliant kids in class and pointing them out and how wonderful they are and talking about them all the time. And he wanted to be one of those. And he's brilliant in his own way. And I tell him that. You don't have to be brilliant like everybody else. Because just because that person's brilliant at doing math doesn't mean they're brilliant at reading, doesn't mean they're brilliant at common sense. We all have our strengths, and we all have things that we have to work on. They're not weaknesses, but they're things we need to work on. So we call it the not-so problem of the day. And I encourage it the night before. We talk about it, and I say, hey, how are you going to do that not-so problem of the day? Well, the teacher said they're allowed to use the table, the math table, so they can help them figure out the answers. Well, my son was sitting here challenging himself. That's what he called it, challenging himself, to figure out like 6 times 4 or 6 times 12 or something without actually looking up the timetable to help him. Because you learn by repetition, not by trying to sit there and figure it out. Eventually that'll come and it'll just click and he'll be able to just do it just like that, just like you and I can do it. And it's a skill, and if you keep practicing it, you'll get better at it. But if you don't practice it and you sit there and don't do it at all, you're never going to get better at it. So I told him the challenge right now is to use that table and get the job done. The challenge is to get that equation done. That not so problem of the day done. Accomplishing it. That's the challenge. And when you accomplish it, you do high five because you just accomplished it and you met the challenge. Once you're able to do that really easily over and over again, then start maybe saying, hey, I'm going to challenge myself. What's 6 times 4? Right in my head. Click, quick, quick, quick. And you're not going to even think about it. But for now, that is not what we're going to do. Baby steps. Everything comes as baby steps. Even as a baby, what do? They keep pushing and pushing. They push themselves up. And then eventually they start turning their head. And then they'll hold the bottle. They put their hands on it, but they can't quite hold it yet. You can't let go. But they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and eventually they're pulling the bottle away from you. We are amazing. It's just we have to figure out that we're amazing. And we can't let other people tell us that somebody else is better than you. They aren't better than you, they're just different. And you have something amazing that they don't have. Everybody's different. So I just wanted to take a moment and elaborate on my other YouTube video that I put out about do you have 100% confidence in our school system? And I wanted to just take it and twist it around a little bit and show how we can inject positive into everything that the kids do in school. Instead of just always harping on, oh, it's all about FCAT, it's all about FCAT, it's all about this. 6 months in preparation for something for one gigantic test. It really isn't about that because that isn't how we learn. We learn by doing things over. Learn, study, apply, study, apply, study, apply. That is how we learn. We need to stop focusing so much on this one big test and focus on what we are amazing at. We're amazing at being us. We're amazing at figuring out how to do something. So that not so problem of the day is the way we look at it. It's not such a problem. And we'll get through it. But starting out your day by saying something is a problem of the day is probably not the best choice. I'm Vicki Brown. My website's fighttheforcesofevil.org. If you like this video, please comment on it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.